On the night of April 14th, 2008, a raging inferno tore through Nasolo dormitory at Budo Junior School in Wakiso District, suffocating 20 primary 4 pupils and leaving an entire generation marked by grief and trauma. 18 years later, we revisit this tragedy through the eyes of a survivor. After surviving the fire that engulfed one of the dormitories at Budo Junior School, one of Uganda's deadliest school tragedies, Diana Tabitha Nalyaka turned her pain into purpose. Rising from the ashes of depression, she became a media personality and podcast host, sharing stories about daily life struggles and resilience. Nalyaka agrees to meet with us with a smile. She recalls April 14th as a normal day, with the school term coming to an end ahead of the holidays.
So that night, it was just another normal random Sunday. There were no, there can be those lingering feelings if something bad is going to happen. But that day, nothing. I saw everyone was in a good mood, no suspicions or anything.
She recalls that the inferno started at around 10 p.m. while everyone had already gone to sleep. It was only the desperate screams for help that woke her up.
When I woke up, Nasolo was literally almost yellow or orange. It was on fire. And all we could hear was screams. At this point, you even don't know where the screams are coming from. Are they from the kids inside? Are they from us outside who are screaming for help? It was very confusing. But one thing for sure, we were hearing our friends screaming in that dormitory.
The dormitories at Budo Junior School were built in long blocks and separated by plywood partitions to accommodate different classes. Nalyaka recalls that she was sleeping in Nalinya dormitory.
I don't know who opened that dormitory. I woke up, people were already fighting, like running and leaving the dormitory. But this dormitory still had its door closed, the one where the fire started. And I think we're all just so in shock that we're just standing there. People were just screaming, others were crying bitterly, and then we had the first people who responded were the cooks, because they also stayed in the school.
Nalyaka says the school was located near a forest, which made it difficult for people outside the school to quickly respond and offer help during emergencies. The dormitory doors had been locked by the matron, who was sleeping at the far end of the block. To this day, Nalyaka still questions why the door to Nasolo dormitory had been secured with a padlock.
Anyway, so this door was still locked, kids are inside. But now I'm thinking about it, how come Mukulu Damali didn't come and unlock that padlock? Because that random day she went and locked that door with a padlock, which was very rare. It's not anything I'd ever seen any of our matrons doing. So she locked it with a padlock where these kids were not easy. It was not easy for them to come out. And that's why outside we could not open for them, because all of us were opened for by our fellow kids. So
she notes that despite the efforts of the cooks to contain the fire, the blaze continued to spread.
Now, at this point, this dormitory is on so much fire, and now the cooks are bringing big saucepans of water from the kitchen and pouring in. But for a weird reason, this water was not putting out this fire. It's like as if they were putting in more fuel. And this, I've never seen anything like that. That fire was even pushing daycares, like literally you could think someone is holding them and pushing them, like it was a nightmare.
Before the fire broke out, Nalyaka says some pupils who slept in Nasolo dormitory later claimed that the incident had been premeditated. She also remembers the bravery of Yvonne Namaganda, who rescued several pupils before losing her own life with the process.
Namaganda was a very brilliant girl, very lively, a very happy person, and very beautiful, by the way. She used to have a very beautiful skin. You could not know if she's fair skin or dark skin, those kinds of skins.
Nalyaka says her family was contacted around midnight and her mother rushed to the school in panic.
She came in slippers. I even remember as if she came in a nightgown, her nightgown, yeah. But most of the parents, to be honest, were all in their nightgowns. But she came like a mad person running. So my daddy wasn't in the country then. And when she saw us, she hugged us while shaking like this.
Like many other survivors, Nalyaka continues to live with the trauma of that night. However, she has learned to accept what happened and take each day one step at a time.
It's not something that I ever held from. It's something I've learned to live with. Every day is just another day for you to push through it. You live with it. I've never forgotten anything. In fact, then I used to have serious nightmares.
She still hopes that the case can be revisited and that those responsible will one day be held accountable.
For a start, can the people who did this be held accountable? Because I think just last year, ending last year, actually around September, I saw a gentleman on TikTok who was actually kind of bragging that they set that school on fire. And you know what's strange? The case was, it became a cold case. So if something that dreadful or that scary can happen to kids and no one is held accountable, such things can happen again and we're not going to go out with it.
Maria Jacinta Kanyange, NTV.